channel. Today's video is going to be a tutorial on this makeup look right here. I am so excited to be filming this video for you guys for two reasons. That's four. For two reasons. One, because this is a beautiful holiday makeup tutorial, and two, because I wanted to sit down and thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. I have been on YouTube for a very long time, and 1,000 might not be a lot to some, but it is so much to me. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel and being part of this family. I'm very blessed and very thankful for all of you. And yeah, I just wanted to put that in this video. So if you're interested in seeing how I did this makeup look, just keep watching. So first things first, I'm going to prep my other eye, and I'm using the Fenty Beauty Concealer. Like I said in my other tutorial, I really like using this concealer for a eyeshadow primer because it's very sticky and I just think it holds eyeshadow really well. And now that we have that blended out, we're going to jump into the Morphe X Jeffree Star palette. I am still obsessed with this palette, you guys. It's so good. And we are going to be using this shade 1985, which is just a light crease shade, and I'm going to blend it all in the crease up towards my brow bone. And I'm just putting this on my Morphe E27. Now that I have that blended out, I'm going to start deepening up the crease with a different shade. I'm going to be using the same brush, the E27, and we're going to be using the What's the Tea shade. This is probably one of my favorite shades from this palette. I just think it's really unique and I really like it. I think it's very versatile. I can use it for cool tone looks, warm tone looks. I just really, really like it. I don't have anything like it in my collection. So it is just one of my favorite crease shades. I'm taking this on the E27 and lightly stamping it on the outer V of my eye and then blending it into the crease, trying to be careful to not bring it up too far into the brow bone yet. I'm also going to start taking the shade and just flicking it outwards, creating a little bit more of a cat eye. And once I have that deepened up, I'm going to take the E27 all cleaned off, and I'm going to dip it back into the 1985, and I'm just going to start buffing out the edges of where the What's the Tea and that 1985 meet, just to make it less dramatic there. Now to deepen it up even more, I'm going to jump into Hi Dude, and I'm using a more fluffy packing brush. It is a little bit more of a dense, fluffy brush, so it's perfect for this. And I'm just going to dip in to that dark matte brown, and we're just going to stamp it on the lash line, making it wider at the outer V and then thinner into the inner corner of your eye, kind of like if you were applying eyeliner. And then I'm going to stamp this up into the outer V, into the crease. Once I have a good base for this color down, I'm going to take a natural hair blending brush and dip it in that matte brown as well. And I'm going to just start buffing it into the crease on the outer V, flicking it outwards to create a little bit more of a cat eye effect. Trying to be careful not to bring the shade too high up. I'm then going to take the What's the Tea shade on that same natural hair blending brush and start buffing it in to the Hi Dude shade just to blend it out. And if you think it's getting too crazy up here, I have a hard time blending this area right here. There's something about this side of my eye right here. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it holds dark pigment weirdly right there no matter what I do. But if that happens to you, or if it just looks messy, you can take any blending brush and dip it into a light matte shade. So I'm going to use Lynn, tap off the excess, and then I'm going to blend it directly into my brow bone, into that top shade, and that's just going to help soften out any lines. Now before adding any of the glitter or shimmer, I'm going to go ahead and take that same shade Lynn that we used to buff out the brow bone, just a matte, very light shade, and I'm going to pack it on the front part of my lid where there is no shadow, just to lighten it up. And I'm putting this on a natural haired packing brush. You're just going to put it in the inner corner of your eye and bring it up, kind of like if you're doing a cut crease, which you could do a cut crease with this look. I just don't think it's necessary. But you're applying that shadow in the same areas as you would concealer if you're doing a cut crease. And this is what it should look like before adding any glitter or shimmer, and we will come back and blend this area. Now for the gold shade, I'm actually gonna start off with this pressed glitter, which is the shade Millions. I actually really like this. I played with it last night. The only thing I don't like about it is necessarily the gold shade. I'm not a true gold person, but it makes for a really beautiful base. So I am taking this pressed glitter and tapping it on my eye, basically where I put the Lin shade, which is that matte light shade. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but this one is definitely more of a yellowy gold, and what I've done over here already is a nice pale muted gold. So now that I have the glitter laid down, I'm actually going to take this shade Designer Labels. It's this beautiful pale gold. It's such a soft shadow. It feels really nice, and I'm honestly just going to start tapping this over the glitter. I prefer this look to the just plain glitter right now. I don't know why, I just do. I think the glitter underneath this pale shade, it just looks really nice, makes it look extra glitzy without being chunky. Now that I've tapped those shades on, I'm actually gonna take the natural haired bristle brush and tap it in Designer Labels, that gold shade, and just kind of bring it into the crease. Make sure it's covering the whole eye. Now that I have that laid down, I'm going to blend out the middle part of my eye. So I'm just taking this natural haired blending brush that I have used before, and I'm putting it in What's the Tea, that matte shade that we used to deepen up the crease first. And I'm just gonna start buffing it directly onto the gold, into Hi Dude, which is the dark matte shade. So I'm buffing it outwards into the outer V slightly. I'm also going to take that shade on that same brush, and I'm going to run it over the top of that glitter, just above it, to sharpen that up. But I'm barely touching my eye. I don't want to cause too many harsh lines or move any of the glitter. I just want it to be a little bit more defined. As for on the lid, we are basically done. If you do think you are missing some of that dark matte shade, the Hi Dude in the corner after adding the gold and that extra What's the Tea, you can always take that fluffy packing brush and kind of do what you did when you first laid down this matte brown and just kind of stamp it on the lash line just to blend this out even more. But I'm using a very light hand. I don't want to add too much pigment. And honestly, I love this. I'm not a huge gold eyeshadow person because I don't like the super warm yellow golds, but adding the Designer Labels over this glitter, I just think makes it look super pretty and perfect for the holidays. So I'm going to finish the rest of the eyes once I'm done with my face, so let's move on to foundation. First things first, I'm actually going to conceal some of my acne scars that are on my jawline. I have hormonal acne and I'm just now getting it under control, I think, so I have some scarring and just pigment from previous acne. So I'm going to take the Tarte Shape Tape and I'm going to just lay that over anywhere that I see a little bit of discoloration. And I'm also going to put it lightly underneath my eyes because I'm going to add concealer under my eyes after putting on foundation as well, but to cover up some of my dark circles a little bit more, I'll just add a tad. I'm then going to take my damp beauty sponge and just blend that out before adding foundation. The concealer I use is obviously not my natural skin tone. It's lighter because it's concealer I usually use for lightening underneath the eyes. But since I'm going to put foundation over it, it does not bother me. I usually use a little bit of a darker foundation anyways, so it works out. I'm also going to take this concealer when blending out my under eyes and start sharpening the wing for the eyeshadow. And then for foundation today, I am using the Makeup Revolution's foundation stick. This is in the shade F5. It is slightly too dark for me. It's a little on the warm side. I don't think it's picking up that warm on camera, but it is. So I'm going to be a little careful, but not too careful because we like full coverage. But we're going to apply that all over the face. I'm then going to take that same blending sponge and just start buffing it out. And with that lighter concealer underneath, it just turns into the nice, perfect shade for me. Now that I have that blended out, I'm going to go ahead and highlight my face, and I'm going to go in with Tarte Shape Tape again. This shade is actually 8B Porcelain Beige. I think it might be their lightest shade, but I'm just using it to slightly highlight underneath my eyes and my forehead, just because, like I said, this foundation is still just a little bit warm, so I'm just going to tone it down a tad with concealer. Now that I have that all blended out, I'm going to go ahead and set my face, and I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me powder. This is in the shade Fair Light. I'm just going to tap some into the lid, and I'm first going to set my under eyes, and I'm just putting this on a Pixie Luxe brush. This is the Precise foundation brush, but I use it for powder, obviously. And I am just stamping this into my under eyes and on my nose so that I don't move any of the cream product. I am then going to take a big fluffy brush and just set the rest of my face lightly. For bronzer today, I am just using the Butter Bronzer in the shade Deep Bronze, and I'm first going to put it just on a large powder brush. This is the Sonia Kashuk brush, and I'm just going to kind of bronze my face with it first. And then I'm actually going to go back in with this shade and contour as well. So my base is not looking the best. I don't know what's going on, but these powders are not wanting to work well together today, which is weird because I've used these products together before. But I'm fixing that before moving on. Anyways, I'm going to take that Butter Bronzer again, and I'm going to put it on a flat top blending brush. And I'm just going to contour with this. Hopefully, and hopefully it looks okay. That's looking a little better. I'm wondering if that Sonia Kashuk brush did not want to play nice with my Butter Bronzer. Before blending anything out, I'm going to go ahead and add blush. So I'm going to jump into the Morphe blush palette, the Cool Pro 8C, and I think I'm going to go with the It Girl shade, which is the second one on the top row. And I'm just applying this with the Wet n Wild flat top brush. And we're gonna kind of stamp it on our cheeks. I'm also gonna take this shade on the tip of my nose. And now that we look crazy, I'm gonna go ahead and blend it out with my clean flat top blending brush before adding any highlight. For highlighter today, I am using the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighter in Precious Petals, and I'm putting this on my M510 from Morphe. It's a natural haired highlighting brush. And we're putting it all over the cheeks. I'm also putting it above my brows. I am then just going to top the highlights of my cheeks with the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighter from their Crystal collection. It's called Crystal High. And we're going to take it on that same brush and just barely dust it on the tops of my cheeks. I'm now going to go ahead and do my brows off camera, and then we'll be back to finish the eyes and lips. Alright, I look a lot better with brows on. I was thinking it looked a little crazy, and it's because I was missing brows. But I'm ready to do the lower lash line. And I think I want to do something a little different. So if you did this eye look, you could totally take the same colors you put on your lid and start smoking out the bottom lash line with them, and it would look really pretty and complete. But since this is a holiday makeup tutorial, Christmas makeup tutorial, whatever you want to call it, I think I want to do green on the lower lash line, which is perfect because this palette has some beautiful greens. So I think I'm going to start by buffing these two matte shades, which is the Wake and Bake and Nate on the bottom lash line. And then if it's like too bright green, or if I'm not feeling it, I can take this really beautiful shimmer shade called Drive Through, and it's like an olive green, and buff it over it. So let's start with this light shade, Wake and Bake. I'll probably put all of these shades on the same brush. This is just a natural haired pencil brush. So I'm gonna take this light green. Oh yeah, I think I really like that actually already. I love how the shade looks on the eye or skin. It looks a little bit deeper and a little bit more like dirty than what it looks like in the pan, which is the perfect green for me. I'm then going to take Nate, and I think I'm just going to buff it in the center part of my lower lash line, and then take Drive Through and deepen the outer lash line with that. So first, Nate on that same brush. Then I'm going to take Drive Through and do the outer part. And then to smoke it out a little bit, I'm going to take that shade 1985 and put it on this natural hair packing brush and just kind of brush it underneath all that green, being very light and delicate since the under eye area is delicate. I actually think I'm going to do that same thing with What's the Tea. And then I'm just going to take a clean blending brush and dust that. I think I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more green. And then to highlight the inner corner of my eye, I'm just going to take Welcome, and I'm going to put it on my pinky and just stamp it right in the inner corner to brighten that up. And now I'm going to go ahead and throw on some lashes, and then we'll be back to do the lip. And we are back for lashes today. I'm wearing the Bold Face lashes in the style Lash Goals. I love these. They are glam, but they are a little bit more on the wispy side, so I feel like they don't take away from the eyeshadow. And then obviously, as you can see, I have decided to go with a red lip. I did line my lips off camera. I used the NARS I don't even know what this is, Velvet Matte Lip Pencil in the color Cruella. You could wear this all over the lips, but I'm not a huge red person. I just don't wear red lipstick very often. But there's something about this Milani metallic lipstick, and I don't even like metallic lipstick, but this is the shade Madly in Love. It is a metallic red, and there's something about it that is just so Christmassy, so holiday, so we're going to put this on, and it's just beautiful. I honestly cannot get over this red lipstick. I was going through my lipsticks last night trying to decide what I wanted to wear for this tutorial today. It is so perfect for the holidays. It's so beautiful. I got mine at CVS a long time ago, to be honest, but if you know somewhere that sells Milani, definitely pick up this metallic red lipstick. Like I said, it's the shade 06 Madly in Love. So perfect. And then lastly, I'm going to set my face. I'm just using the Revolution Makeup Sports Fix Extra Hold Makeup Setting Spray. And that is it for this holiday makeup tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. And I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday, and a Happy New Year, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!